What's going on, everybody? JT the Chef here, and today we're going to go over what I believe are the top 5 futures prop firms in the space. We're going to go over the pros and cons of each one of them and why I believe that you should consider spreading out your futures funding across multiple firms. Not to mention, I'm going to tell you why I like one of them more than the rest and a little bit more. So without further ado, before we get started, hit that like button and also subscribe down below, and let's get going.
So let's get cooking. Now, what I want to do is go over what I believe are, first, the top 5 prop firms in the future space. Now, it's very important and very also critical to figure out who you want to partner with, number 1, and number 2, figure out what firm fits best for your style. Every trader is different, so therefore we have to figure out what's best for each of our goals as a trader. So these are my personal beliefs into which I believe are the best firms for how I trade, but it may be different for you. But nonetheless, take it for a grain of salt. Again, the purpose of this video is nothing more than to be educational and for entertainment purposes. At number 5, we have got Take Profit Trader. Now, Take Profit Trader is a revolutionary futures funding firm here in the prop space. The beauty of Take Profit Trader is they allow traders to actually take out profits after and during their first day in the funded stage. This is a little bit different than some other firms. Most firms don't allow this, but with Take Profit Trader, they do allow it. Now let's take a look at their website and try and see what they have to offer. So now we're looking at Take Profit Trader's website. And as you can see, they have a pretty nice website. You can log in here. They have their website in English or Spanish. If you scroll down here, you can see how it works. And then you can see the rules. So they have the number of trading days that they're required for you to trade. So I know this, that the number of trading days required is 5 trading days. And they want to see you consistently trade over those 5 trading days and not have more than 50% of your gains in a single day. There's no minimum days, though, for your first withdrawal, like I said. They don't have contract limits. They actually allow resets on accounts that are funded, which is different than other firms. That being said, that fee is very expensive. So something to consider, that even if you do that, is it going to be worth that fee? They do have a fee for the setup of the pro account, and they do have support as well. Now you can see here at the 25K account starts at $150 a month. 50K, 75K, 100K, 150K are the different levels that they have. You can see they have a profit target, they have a daily loss limit, and they have an end of day trailing drawdown. Now, this is very important. You cannot hit the daily drawdown while you are trading. If you do, you will be breached and you will lose your account. You also cannot hit the end of day trailing drawdown. Now, one thing I don't like about Take Profit Trader as opposed to the rest is that they currently have an end of day trailing drawdown when it comes to their evaluation stage. But in the funded stage, it becomes a equity intraday trailing drawdown. So what I don't like about that is that the trader has to adjust their risk management when they get to the funded stage. Now, they aren't required to have that consistency rule, but at the same time, as a trader, you will feel it a little bit differently, as when you have a equity trailing drawdown, it forces you to take profit more quickly and trade differently. So somebody who wants to hold a trade a little bit longer and let it work may not be able to do that with a firm like Take Profit Trader. As you go down further, you can see they are available on all these different platforms. And again, you can see all the rules down here below. Now again, this is a top 5 firm for me, and there are plenty of firms in the space. So again, being in the top 5 is a beautiful thing, and there will be a link for this one in the description that you will see below. But that's number 5. Now, let's take a look at what I believe is the number 4 prop firm in the futures space. Coming in at number 4 is actually going to be Apex Trader Funding. Now, a lot of people see Apex as one of their top 3, if not their number 1. For me, it's not that Apex is not maybe that for some people, but for me, it maybe isn't just as much because of some of their rules, and it doesn't really necessarily fit my trading style. All that being said, somebody can be extremely successful with Apex Trader Funding. And we're going to go over what they have to offer and what I believe can actually work out for a number of traders if they use their system properly. So let's take a look at their website. So here we are looking at Apex Trader Funding, and you can see it's a very nice website. They actually recently did an update, which is beautiful because it seemed like they were a little bit behind the times, but they seem to be getting with the program now, which is great. You can see that they allow you to receive 100% of the first 25,000 you make on each account, and 90% after that. You get 2 payouts per month. Now those payouts are limited based upon the account size, and you'll be able to look at that individually if you look at their payout policy. They don't have daily drawdowns, but they do have that equity trailing drawdown intraday. Now, once you reach past the ultimate drawdown threshold, then that trailing drawdown does go away. So a lot of traders, what they will do is they will build up their buffer in their account, and then they'll get past that trailing, and then they'll feel a little bit more comfortable to take on more size. As we continue to go down here, you can now pass in single days with Apex. That's recently been something they've been offering and promoting a lot recently. You can also trade up to 20 accounts. Now this is what makes Apex a little bit different than the rest. They'll let you trade up to 20 accounts. Now with that 20 accounts, you're going to obviously put on a lot of risk and be purchasing 20 evaluations and then purchasing 20 PA or personal funded accounts. Those accounts are going to be a lot of money. That's a lot of money that you're going to be putting up to possibly get a payout. And that's a huge risk, I think. And I think what happens is a lot of people try to fall into that space. Well, if I take 5 accounts and make $2,000 every 2 weeks, I'm making a ton of money, right? Well, at the end of the day, if you can't do it with 1, how can you do it with 5? So I think that's one of the downfalls for a trader when they get into trading with Apex, is they need to focus on 1 account and then work towards the multiples. So again, no, they do have minimum trading days that they want you to trade to prove that you are successful as a trader. You will have to trade 7 days, usually in the eval, to get funded. Again, now they've changed it to 1. You also have to trade 10 days to prove that you can be successful in the funded stage with a 30% consistency rule. So that can be a little bit tough for some to continue to go out there day after day and continue to produce as a trader. Not all of us are going to win each and every day. They also have that intraday trailing drawdown, which can be a little bit difficult. But nonetheless, this is definitely a plan that can work for a lot of people. And Apex always is running sales 80-90% off. Again, link will be posted below as well as with the code. Love what they have to offer, but at the same time, it's not for everybody. They also do offer a static account, 100K static account, which a static account is an account that doesn't have that trailing drawdown, which can be really beneficial for traders. Now, there are some other people in the space that actually have static accounts as well, and those static accounts, I believe, maybe are a little bit better than this one, albeit said, Apex does offer a static account. Now, if you continue to go down, you can see that they have Tradeovate and Rhythmic, and you also have the ability to trade a number of different things like indexes, bonds, currencies, agriculture, energy, metals, any of those things as well. Okay, and they have all their commissions listed there. So again, Apex is a great tool for traders that I would say are a little bit more scalp-like type of trading. Not somebody that's maybe going to hold a trade all day long. They're going to be maybe looking for smaller moves intraday, and they're going to be sized appropriately. They're not going to have heavy size, because people that have heavy size are going to struggle with Apex Trader Funding because they have that trailing drawdown, and they might find themselves heavy in drawdown, maybe even at profit sometimes, but still in drawdown. That being said, a trader that's able to size down properly can actually be able to compound with Apex and making significant amount of money using their copy trader together and being able to pay themselves out significantly over time. There's several students of mine that have actually been able to do that on their own, and I think it's an amazing thing. But I know it's not for everybody. So that's why I have Apex at number 4 in the prop space when it comes to futures trading. Coming in at number 3 is BluSky. Now this is one that you probably haven't heard of. They're a little bit smaller, but let me tell you something. This little company has really made a name for themselves. They have been able to rise themselves up to the top, and this is maybe someone that I would have considered maybe 4 or 5 in the past, but they have continued to develop their program. And what I love about them is that they have a number of options for people to utilize to get funding with them, and they want to move people towards a live account. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because in this space, what you're doing primarily is you're trading a demo account to get to a simulated funded account, and then ultimately never really moving to the live funded stage. But only a certain number of companies actually want to move you to that stage, and this is the first one, which is BluSky. They want to move people to the brokerage side of things, which I think is great. They also don't want to have people having 1,000 different accounts. They would like to see people focus on one account, do well with that, and then possibly consider another account in the future. But they don't see a reason for people to have multiple accounts if they can't prove that they get a payout from one. But let's take a look at what they have to offer on their website. So here we are on BluSky, and you can see it's a very easy to use website. They've got really great Trustpilot reviews as well. They do have a Discord, so definitely want to check them out as well. So they have got 2 different types. They have the evaluations that you can use. These evaluations are kind of similar to Apex with the 30% consistency rules. They do have an intraday trailing drawdown, and they also do have daily loss limits. But again, what I would like to say is they have multiple stages here with BluSky. They have profit goals, getting you up in that sim funded stage, and then ultimately moving you to the brokerage side. Now, the only caveat to this is you're going to have to pay a little bit in fees when it comes to that, but overall, not too bad. And sometimes they run promos to, like currently, they're actually running no setup fees on the funded stage. So they have a number of options here, 25K, 50K, 100K, and you can see them all listed below. You guys can check these out. The other great thing about that is they also now have better static evaluations than almost anybody in this space. They currently have a 150K static account, and they have a 200K static account, which I think is awesome. You have over a $2,000 static drawdown, and if you are somebody that doesn't want to have to deal with a trailing drawdown, this is a great account and a great option to take it slow. And with that big buffer of over $2,000, you can get yourself up to trading in a good space. And with these static accounts, you're only allowed to trade 1 mini or 10 micros, or 2 minis and 20 micros. And what I love about this is it forces you to actually size properly. All of these other firms will allow you to trade as big of size as you want, and that will force you to blow your account so easily if you get into any sort of tilt or emotional state. So that's why I do love this company so much more to put them over here at number 3. Their support also is very good, and like I said, they have got a great Discord. They got actually some people in the Discord that are willing to help you out. So I really do like this. Check them out. I really think it's a great option. So that's it. At number 3, we got BluSky Trading Company. Now you might be asking yourselves, okay, all right, what's number 2? So here we go with number 2. It's going to be TopStep. Now TopStep revolutionized the futures funding trading space. They have always been in this space longer than almost anybody, and honestly, without them, I don't think we would be anywhere in the future space. But TopStep, again, coming in at number 2. What I love about TopStep is they do have that daily loss limit, which actually stops you from trading from the day, but doesn't put you on tilt. Doesn't allow your tilt to go in and blow your account. Sometimes people have days where they are just off and they go through their daily loss limit, but they're able to come back tomorrow and reset. And sometimes traders need that forced stop into their trading to kind of keep them from blowing their account. And I've been in a situation like that before in the past where I hit my daily loss limit, but then I was able to come back and actually get myself to a payout on that account, and that was a beautiful thing. So let's take a look at what TopStep actually has to offer as they've now continued to add other products in their firm. So at TopStep, they only have one rule, which is to prove that you can be profitable. That's it. And to be able to hit their profit goal and to be able to do it consistently. So there's a 50% consistency rule and you got to hit their profit goal. That's it. So it's really a beautiful thing. Now they have actually opened their own platform now with TopStep X, which I think is pretty cool. They also have a number of different platforms that you can use to trade with them. Again, only one step, so a beautiful thing. When it comes to getting a payout from them, you have to trade at least 5 winning days of $200 or more. Once you do that, you can get up to 50% of those profits that you have made during that time. So let's take a look at what they have to offer from each size. So we go to earn funding here. You can see that we have $49. We can get a 50K account, $99 a 100K account, and a 150K account for $149. Now each of these accounts will have activation fees of the same $149, which again, relatively not a bad price to get into the space. Now TopStep allows you to have up to 3 accounts, and then they will also move you up to a live account if you can prove over time that you can be a consistent trader with them. And I've seen a number of traders have multiple sim funded accounts and also get moved up to that funded stage with a live account. So I think it's a great tool. TopStep, again, has been revolutionary in the space, and without them, this space would not exist. So again, the beauty of TopStep is what? One step, one rule. You can have multiple accounts, simple payout policy of 5 winning days in a row, not in a row, but 5 winning days of $200 or more, fast processing to those payouts, and then obviously be able to show off your friends your funded trader certificate. Alright guys, so now we're starting to wonder, okay, so then what is actually number one? And let me tell you what number one is. Number one to me is MyFundedFutures. MyFundedFutures has become revolutionary in this space. Absolutely came into the space storming out of nowhere as they've come out of the ashes. Matt L. over at MyFundedFX started MyFundedFutures, and let me tell you, he has produced an amazing product. MyFundedFutures has an end of day drawdown. It's got revolutionary starter accounts that start at only $50. We'll go over those here in a minute now with the current promo, as well as an expert plan that I believe is very beneficial to the experienced trader. Not to mention no minimum trading days, a number of different things that I think can actually be something that any trader can adapt to. So let's take a look at MyFundedFutures and what they have to offer on their website. So here we are on MyFundedFutures, and they will allow you to trade up to 3 accounts, up to 600,000 they say in simulated capital. It's really 3 accounts to the 150K stage. What sets them again from everybody else is they don't have any max or min evaluation days. If you want to pass in a single day, you can pass in a single day. If you want to pass in 6 months, you pass in 6 months. It's your rules. You can request up over the buffer every 14 days a payout, and there are no required trading days in the midst of that. A lot of firms like Apex, etc., maybe TopStep, and other ones may require you to put in a number of trading days to prove that you can be consistent with that profit over time. But with MyFundedFutures, they only have the consistency rule when it comes to the starter account of 40%. On the expert plan, there is no consistency rule. And what I love about either of that, even at the 40%, is that they're not forcing you to take trades just to take trades, like others that will force you to trade up to 10 days. or force you to make a profit of a certain amount 5 days just to get a payout. Hey, if I've made a couple $100 here and there over and over and over again, and then I'm getting over my profit target and I'm getting over that buffer, I'm able to take away that payout. Up to the first 10,000 of your account is all yours. And there's no set day for your payouts, meaning after 14 days you request a payout and it will be processed within 24 hours, which that is the case. MyFundedFutures is one of the few that will actually process your payout faster than almost anybody. Some people will make you wait over 2 weeks, and that's just not okay. You know, if you make money in this space, you should be able to take it out and continue to trade. So again, you choose your account size, you take the one-step challenge, and then you get verified. All right, and then you get funded. So it's a beautiful thing, very quick. They have the expert and the starter plan. No activation fees in the expert. No consistency rules, like I said, no minimum evaluation days. You get a payout every 14 days. And extra, by the way, MyFundedFutures support is #1. Compared to everybody else, it's hands down the best support I have actually seen in the space. Some support is terrible. They really do mean it when they have support. They really do have that 24/7 support. Again, the starter plan, really a great opportunity for people to get into this space right now. Only $50. You can use code StockDads, or we'll post it down here in the bottom of the description. Again, for all of these, you'll be able to see that. But really one of the best plans to get into. And let's go over how these work. So for $50 on the 50K account, you can get started on the starter plan. For the expert, it's $165. Again, it says monthly, but once you pass, you don't pay that monthly anymore. And there's no activation fee on the expert plan. On the starter plan, you do have the activation fee, but right now it's only $50. So $100 all in for a 50K account. It's actually the best deal in the space. In the 100K version, it's again $50 in the starter plan, $100 on the activation, $150 all in for a 100K account. Again, not a terrible thing. Expert, $265 on that one, not a bad thing. And then the 150K, again $50 for the starter plan, $375 on the expert plan. The activation fee is $150 there on that starter plan. But again, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now you can see they show why you want to choose MyFundedFutures versus others. You guys can read this. Again, personally, I have tried a number of firms in this space, and I'm here to tell you that MyFundedFutures has now become the front of where I would like to have my funding at. Now, that being said, I do want to talk about something here at the end of this video, which I think is actually a little bit important, and that would be this. You want to be diversified in this space. Now, what do I mean by that? You want to be able to have funding at each and every company that you can possibly have at as you start to build your base. Now, I'm not saying to sit there and go buy hundreds of accounts at different places. But once you start to get your footing and you actually are able to prove to yourself that you can be successful in this space, start to consider taking stabs at having funding at different places. And what I mean by that is this: when you're able to do this, you're able to spread your risk out over time over these different firms. Let's say that one firm doesn't work out for whatever reason. You keep yourself from being knocked out completely. I see so many horror stories that are happening right now in the Forex space where people had all their money in one firm and then all of a sudden they went belly up or something happened and they just shut down, and all of their payouts that they were relying on have now disappeared. You don't want to deal with that, right? So it's very important for you to be diversified for that instance. Also, I don't really think it's a great idea to copy trade the same trade across different accounts. You never know when you're going to have a bad day, and you don't want to multiply the risk that you are taking each and every day across all of your funding. If you can sit there and take a bad day in one account but then come back and do it on another account and everything's okay, totally fine. The only risk that you took and the only loss that you took was on the one account that you had, as opposed to all of your funding just on one bad trade. That just doesn't seem like a great idea to me. So overall, I think it's very important for us as futures traders in this prop space to focus on being diversified, to not only mitigate our risk from a financial standpoint, but to also be prudent, because we don't know what's going to happen in this space. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this video. We're going to have the links to all of the prop firms that we talked about today in the description below. Please make sure to share this with your friends, and I look forward to doing more content with you guys in the future. Until then, keep it cooking.